Yeah, I was hitchhiking towards Minneapolis like 2 years ago, and I got picked up somewhere in Nebraska, I think, by this guy, John, who lives in Sydney down by like, was it Council Bluffs?
Yeah.
And he invited me to come back for like a sandwich, invited me to stay the night, and they ended up driving me to Minneapolis, but he took me up here one day just for fun. I think we went to Marteau.
Fun.
Yeah, super cool.
Cool.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Having us. Got a bunch of beers poured here. These are in order, I imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That way. There we go. Cool. All right. Well, if you want to introduce yourself to the world,
All right, this guy.
pick a camera, anyone you want.
Cool. I'm Nikki Werner. I'm the co-founder and owner of Jefferson Beer Supply. I own it and run it with my family, my partner Anthony, who might be around, and our head brewer Andy, who was just in here before you.
Okay.
Got out. But yeah.
Sweet. We'll start off with the beers. I can say cheers. This is the hard line, right?
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for having me. That is the perfect beer to start with.
Yeah, I really love coffee a lot, so drink that in the morning a lot.
Yeah. So we're staying pretty much above hardline coffee.
Yeah.
So you know those guys for a while, or?
Yeah, Nisa's really great. The owner and founder of Hardline, she started Hardline when she was super young, and she roasts all the beans on like this little tiny micro roaster. I mean, I think she'll probably scale up sometime, but yeah, it's so. And she also makes really, really good specialty. Like every month, she has a list of specialty coffees. So even though like she's not in beer, like we do a lot of similar stuff, and I talked to her a lot about drinks and coffee and flavors and
yeah. This is delicious. Just popping in there to the coffee shop, it was just stood out. It's like, this is awesome coffee.
Yeah. I think she's really exceptional, and in this area, like we definitely have a handful of brewery buddies around here, but if I was in a bigger city, I might be talking to like lots of other brewers all the time, but here I have to find people in other industries that like kind of have things in common, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And you started telling me, how long have you actually, when's the first time you brewed, like home brewed even?
I actually learned to brew at a brewery.
Oh, nice.
So I've been brewing professionally for about 10 years. First I was teaching like college art, as a college professor, and I needed a summer job. So I started working at this brewery that was like attached to this art space. And anyway, I don't know if you want like the whole saga, but so I learned to brew at like a 30-barrel brewery in Milwaukee. And then after that, I brewed at Left Hand, and
Nice.
and I brewed in Sioux Falls for a little bit, and now we're here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
30-barrel brewery, that's a pretty good start.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a little overambitious brewery. It was a startup, and it was pretty cool to like see a startup.
Yeah.
And actually, after that experience, I was like, I'm never opening my own brewery.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah. And the doors have been open here, you said, for just over a year?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I looked you guys up, I saw you had like a rock painting event or something. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna work.
Yeah.
And the beer list looks awesome, and so far so good.
Yeah, the rock painting event was pretty fun. We like definitely are a community brewery, so a big part of our audience is families, multi-generational families, kids, parents, grandparents, and so we do a lot of events that cater. We do a lot of events like all the time, and we're always looking for ones that kind of can encompass different parts of our audience.
Yeah, you get a lot of people from Sioux City coming up here, I imagine.
Yeah. Sioux City, but also our whole county. I mean, we're like the only brewery in our county.
Okay.
In South Dakota is where like the market is growing the most.
Yeah.
So we had definitely a handful of South Dakota tourists. We're like right off the highway that leads to the Badlands and Mount Rushmore and all that fun stuff.
Okay.
And it's definitely where we want to grow our audience in the future.
Do you distribute a lot of your cans?
We don't even have a canning line yet. So
Okay.
we have crawlers, and we distribute kegs. We self-distribute kegs in South Dakota, and then actually Jackson Street is our distributor in Iowa. So in Iowa, breweries can distribute other breweries.
Cool.
So Jackson Street in Sioux City, which is like about 15 minutes away. They're good partners for a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's try this second beer here. It's the rhubarb pastry sour. Cool. Do you mix up your beers quite a bit?
Yeah, I mean, we always have this Kolsch, 1859 Kolsch. We have an IPA that's made with mostly South Dakota ingredients that we have all the time. It's called Grasshopper Cross IPA. It's named after like this pretty cool history part of our town. And then the rhubarb sour we have all summer when we have fresh rhubarb because we have tons of rhubarb in the whole town. And a lot of the hills are like really old. And I love the rhubarb. I think it's a beer that's really unique to here.
Yeah.
But besides that, we change it up a lot.
Oh, yeah, this is delicious. It's light, but still sour, a little bit sweet. It's got that vanilla thing going on. It's a good one.
Yeah.
What's the ABV on this one? Is it
I think
fairly
it's 4.5.
low? 4.5?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we're not really into lagers yet just because we don't have enough space, but we definitely we always have light beers, we always have fruited sours, we always have IPAs, and we always have stouts.
Nice.
Besides that, we kind of do whatever we want.
Have you messed around with any barrel aging, even with spirals or chips? Or
Yeah, we did one barrel aged beer last year. We did we did a stout month here, like in February.
That's
which I
a
was
good
like,
month.
I don't know if this is the crowd for stout month, but it actually went so good.
Yeah?
So we did one barrel aged for that, but it's
Okay.
not really we're not really big enough yet or there yet.
Yeah. Did you have some flavored stouts to attract people
Can my
in?
partner
or-
join us?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we released 2 stouts every week. So all kinds of really weird stuff, really mainstream stuff. Like we had a Thin Mint one. The big one that went over the best, I think, was the Scotcheroo stout. That Scotcheroo is like a dessert, a peanut butter dessert that's like specific to here.
Okay. Scotcheroo.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah,
Butterscotch, Rice Krispie cereal, chocolate, marshmallow.
peanut butter.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so we used some rice and it was good. We had all kinds of stouts, and I was like, this is gonna be too weird for people here, but it. And then we did a thing where you got a punch card. If you had so many stouts throughout the month, you got a free pair of Stout Lovers socks at the end of the month. So
That's
lots of
awesome.
people were jacked to get free socks, and
I thought it was like a silly, goofy idea, but I didn't think people would love them. They love them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it got a lot. I mean, it brought stout lovers out of the woodwork and made them aware of us. But it also got a lot of people that were already our drinkers that didn't drink stouts to drink stouts. So it was really fun.
Okay. That's cool. I will definitely be back for a stout month if I can. If you guys do it again, I hope you do.
We kind of just copied off of Colorado. Colorado stout month is really big there, but
Damn.
yeah. Anyway.
Cool. All right, let's jump to the next one. 'Cause 59. This has to do with the story of the town I'm gathering. Is
Yeah.
that when the town was established?
In 1859. Yes.
1859. Okay.
So every summer, the first full weekend after the 4th of July, there's it starts on Wednesday night and goes through Sunday. And there's just a ton of family events, fireworks, poker tournament, car show.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Just missed it. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we made this beer for that. And
At least I got the beer.
yeah. We are definitely a small town brewery. So, I mean, I kind of say that our focus is South Dakota. Every beer either has a South Dakota story, a South Dakota flavor, a South Dakota ingredient. But even more specifically, Jefferson, and we're in a little bit of a tri-state area. So Iowa and Nebraska is part of our community. But yeah, I guess if you were to look at our brewery from the outside, the thing that's unique about it is our town. And
Yeah.
we kind of build everything around our town, whether it's the people, the events, the flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone successfully grow hops within a couple hundred miles of here? Or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the Grasshopper Cross IPA that I was mentioning, it has. So the story is when the settlers moved here, there was a summer where grasshoppers were just decimating tons of cities. There was one city north of us that like doesn't even exist anymore because the grasshoppers just wiped out the whole city. They wiped out the crops, destroyed the people had to move on. But here they had just gotten a new priest at the church, which the church in town is the oldest practicing Catholic church in South Dakota, which is kind of cool. But the priest and the community went around and marched these crosses like 6 miles out of town in every direction, and then there was no grasshoppers. But these crosses are really interesting for travelers and for bicyclists and motorcyclists. A lot of them use them like as like wayfinders, like turn here, meet here, you know.
Cool.
And I think it kind of just like showcases like the resilience of our whole area. So back to your hops question is we get our hops for that beer from this place called Six Meridian Hops in Yankton, which is like probably 50 miles away.
Yeah.
And it's right on the Missouri River Valley, and they grow Challenger hops from England there. And Challenger hops are hops that like don't grow super well in other parts of the country, but somehow they do really good in the Missouri River Valley. So
Perfect.
we get some hops from there. There's some people on the other side of the river in Nebraska growing hops that we just started buying some from. So
Okay.
yeah, it's not like everywhere, but it's around a little.
And we have a small hop. We don't use them, but it's more of like a fun. But yeah, we grow them right here in town. Yeah.
And educational, and
Yeah.
and there's a couple other people in town actually that grow hops.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just for fun.
Will you use them just for like a small, tiny dry hopping, small batch once they're a few
Yeah,
years
maybe.
in or something?
Possibly, yeah.
I would
Alright, as well.
The problem with our hops though is like think we have like one plant of like 6 different varieties.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, it'd still be a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little sprinkling on the end of some IPA, you know?
Yeah.
Be cool. Yankton, I noticed because you have a beer with my name on it. Kenny Pepper, that's from a Yankton brewery?
Yeah,
Ben
that's our.
Brewing?
We definitely this summer, like between our town festival and a lot of other stuff we had going on, we just like got wiped out of beer. So we brought in this Kenny Pepper beer from Ben's Brewing in Yankton for our town festival.
That's cool.
It's a crowd pleaser. It's a great beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like all the breweries in this area are all intertwined, collaborating, helping each other out. Like, whenever possible.
I mean, compared to other parts of the country, we really don't have that many breweries, so we gotta help each other out.
Yeah. Cool.
No room for enemies, really.
Nah. Seems like the whole beer industry is kind of like that. It's high tide raises all ships, I always say.
Yeah.
Like, the whole time I've been doing this show, I'll meet brewers and they're like, yeah, we ran out of whatever kind of grain or hop and we just went down and so hooked us up and vice versa. And it's kind of cool because at the end of the day, all craft breweries are kind of still competing against, the Budweisers of the world and stuff like that. So there's plenty of room to grow together.
I mean, in other markets are like much more competitive. Here, craft beer is like still so young. It's like when we take away someone's tap handle, we're taking away like a big regional tap handle. You know, we're not taking away the other locals' tap handle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very different to make beer here than it is to make beer in bigger cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
So this one I'm kind of excited for just because I don't see an Imperial Amber. I can't remember the last time I have, so. And I like the name. Chuck Wagon Sandwich. Has this one been around for a minute? Or?
This is the first batch we've made of it. So it might be like, it's been around for maybe like a month and a half or so.
Okay.
But amber in this area, it really perks people's ears up. People drink a lot of Alaskan amber, at least in the area. So
Cool.
we figured why not try an amber and make it a little different than what else is out there right now.
Yeah, it's got that malty sort of brown sugar-ish kind of thing going on. It's pretty crisp still. It's perfect. I like that.
A Chuck Wagon sandwich. I think a long time ago they were like sandwiches that the settlers would have at like the wagon stops, but now they're like this sandwich that you get at a gas station that has like all these layers of cheese and processed meat, and it's in like a plastic wrapper. You put it in the gas station microwave.
Yeah, but super hearty, filling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we thought it was funny. We've been wanting to name a beer for a long time.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys don't have food here, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
So we are working on a kitchen in the back.
Oh, okay.
We'll do like shareables, like nachos, We've maybe even thought about like an avocado toast or something like that.
Okay, a chuck wagon sandwich? Or?
Maybe, yeah.
And we have food trucks like about 5 days a week, which like, again, if you're in another city, that's what everyone's doing. But
Yeah.
here it's like not super common, so it's pretty fun.
Oh, cool. So in a vacuum, I'll ask you each, what's your favorite beer? I know that's like a crazy question, so if I were to phrase it more, if you were going to be put on an island for 1 month, it's going to be about 65 degrees all the time, and you can only have one beer for that month, starting tomorrow. That's specific. What beer style would you choose? You don't have to choose a specific beer. But you
I
can,
mean, my favorite beer is always whatever I'm working on
Yeah.
at the moment. But I really love our Kolsch. We worked really hard on it, and it's right where we want it to be.
Yeah.
It has a great head. It's crispy. It's quenching. It has sauce hops, which I love.
Nice. And yourself?
Oh, I'm really torn. Right off the top of my head, I would have said Miller High Life.
Okay.
But also, I don't know, I really love like Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
It's a classic.
Yeah,
That's one of my favorite breweries on the planet, for sure. Have you been there?
I have not had the chance, no,
Okay.
but I would love to.
Yeah. The one in Chico, and they have the new one in North Carolina. It's like a castle. It's
Really?
crazy, yeah. There's so many bars within the facility that is the brewery. There's upstairs, downstairs, outside, down a hiking trail. There's a little river with a dock. You can pull up with your kayak and pop out and grab a beer in the field. Like,
Oh, that sounds fun.
That's really awesome.
it's pretty incredible.
Have you been to Back Channel in Minnesota?
No.
That's another one. They like put like their GPS coordinates on the cans, and you can like boat in or kayak in or
Really?
yeah.
I'm going to be there somewhere in the next week or 3.
I don't know. I haven't been, and I haven't. But I've had a
Gotcha.
few of their beers, and the brewer at Ben's, we're good friends with him, and it's one of his favorite breweries.
Okay. Check that out. Have you all done a bit of traveling in any capacity?
Yeah. Yeah, I studied in Germany for a little bit. Like, I got a scholarship through Pink Boot Society. That was really fun. We mostly southern Germany, so like just touring all of southern Germany, breweries, hop farms, at all kinds of religious breweries, big giant breweries, little tiny breweries. So that was really an eye-opening experience. And I was with like all these other women brewers from all over the world, really. So that was like awesome. And then we've traveled to see like some of the people that we've met from there. Yeah, we lived in Colorado for a while. We lived in Wisconsin for a while. We've been all over the Midwest.
Nikki's from
Yeah.
St. Louis, so
Okay.
when we head down there, we try to plan an extra day so we can stop in Kansas City and hit a couple.
Yeah,
And then we hit
Yeah.
some in St. Louis.
Yeah,
Okay. Some good breweries around both those cities.
yeah, yeah.
And then I think both of our favorite was probably the trip to Scratch
Oh, yeah.
in Southern Illinois.
Oh.
That's-
Just Scratch?
Scratch Brewing Company, yeah.
I don't think I've had anything from them.
You know
They're
more about
like
them.
one
but-
of the only breweries to ever be nominated for a James Beard Award. They like do, they focus mostly on foraged beers. It's like deep in the forest in Illinois. And so, like Southern Illinois. And like they have like a whole tree series where like every beer has various components of one tree, like pine needles, pine bark, pine sap, but not pine because pine is not a tree that's native to there. But
Yeah.
a lot of their beers are made with wood in various capacities. They make a chanterelle beer.
Oh, wow.
But again, but it's also like a really community-oriented space, and it's really like developing a terroir like around where they are, and those type of places like really inspire me and us, and I'd love to move in that direction even more. And,
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
really cool. I'm going to put that on the list for the next month sometime because I'm generally like hitching east.
yeah,
So I'll do that. It's cool.
it's really unique.
Yeah. Get like a flight of different trees. Like that's
Yeah.
incredible. I wonder if they have like a cool like tree, like a flight board made out of the various wood from the different trees.
Well,
or
I mean,
something.
and they've like hand built almost all of it, and that's kind of how we are here. We're always improving and always trying to do better. And, things weren't perfect when they opened, they weren't perfect now, but that idea of like always working towards new goals and enjoying yourself along the way.
Yeah.
Is kind of what we're trying to do.
Cool. Well, thanks for having me and chatting. I'll have to try another couple of these beers, but the Kolsch for sure sounds good.
Yeah.
Sweet. Anything else you want to tell the world?
Come see us. We're really cool. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that are unique about living here and making beer here, and come see what it's like.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.